Welcome back to Podcast Byte brought to you by India Law LLP, your trusted partner in navigating India law. I am your host Mubaraka Babbar. Can a man trespass into his own property? Legally, yes, and recent Kerala High Court judgment makes that crystal clear. Today we examine Nabodaran K versus State of Kerala, decided on March 26, 2026, a case that draws a firm line between ownership and possession and has a significant implications for every landlord in India. Damodaran K is a landlord from Kasargod, Kerala. He owned a room bearing number KP3/773 of Karadka Panchayat at Muleria, which he had rented out to prosecution witness number 1, the complainant. On May 11, 2009, at around noon, Damodaran allegedly entered that very room, his own room, without the tenant's consent. The prosecution case is that he only trespassed but also committed mischief by forcibly fleeing out the tenant's household articles, causing damage of approximately rupees 10,000. Neither the tenant, prosecution witness number 1, nor his wife, prosecution witness number 2, were present at the time. They were visiting a relative in Kollam. The incident was witnessed by 4 neighbors, prosecution witness number 3, 4, 5, and 9, who were examined as an eyewitness by the prosecution. The case was filed under Section 454 of IPC, trespass to commit an offence, and Section 427 of IPC, mischief causing damage. A protracted litigation journey spanning over 17 years then followed. The Judicial First Class Magistrate Court 1, Kasargod, convicted the accused in February 2015, sentencing him to the 1 year simple imprisonment and a fine of rupees 2,000 under Section 454 and 6 months simple imprisonment with the fine of rupees 1,000 under Section 427. Damodaran appealed to the Additional Sessions Court 3, Kasargod. In January 2016, the Session Court upheld the conviction but reduced the sentence to 3 months each. It also directed the accused to pay rupees 15,000 as compensation to the tenant under Section 357 subclause 3 of CRPC. Still unsatisfied with the finding and the guilt, Damodaran filed a criminal revision petition before Kerala High Court under Section 397 and 401 of Code of Criminal Procedure, which is where this case gets legally significant. Justice Robin Sebastian of the Kerala High Court delivered the order on March 26, 2026. Two legal key questions were before the court. First, the scope of revisional jurisdiction. Can a High Court re-examine the evidence and overturn the conviction? The court was unequivocal, citing the Supreme Court ruling of State of Kerala versus Puthamma Ilat Jathavedan Namodari, reported in AIR 1999, Supreme Court 981. The court held that revisional jurisdiction is supervisory. It exists to correct a miscarriage of justice, not to function as a second appellate court. Unless the lower court's findings are perverse, illegal, or based on a misreading of evidence, the High Court will not substitute its own view. Finding no such infirmity here, given the 4 independent eyewitnesses with no apparent motive to lie had consistently deposed in favor of prosecution, the court declined to interfere with the conviction. Second, and this is the legal headline, can an owner be guilty of trespass in his own property? The court answered with an empathetic yes. It held that the criminal trespass and house trespass under IPC are offences against possession and not ownership. A lawful tenant premises is lawful possession of the tenant. When Damodaran entered that room without consent and with the intent to commit a criminal act, it did not matter that he owned the room. His ownership gave him no license to trespass. As the court put it, an even owner cannot, under the guise of ownership, unlawfully enter premises in the lawful possession of another with the intent to commit an offence. While the conviction stood, the High Court did find the sentence to be somewhat harsh, given the peculiar facts. The case arose from landlord-tenant dispute, a civil conflict that spilled over into criminal territory. The accused had no prior criminal antecedents. The mitigating factors led the court to modify the sentence significantly. For both offences, Section 454 and Section 427, the sentence was reduced to imprisonment till the rising of the court, which in practice means a few hours of the day of appearance. The compensation of rupees 15,000 to the tenant under Section 357 subclause 3 of CRPC was however retained. In default of payment, the accused would face 1 month of simple imprisonment. Both sentences were directed to run concurrently. The accused was directed to appear before the trial court on June 1, 2026 to undergo the modified sentence. So the bottom line, conviction confirmed, sentence dramatically reduced, compensation to the victim was preserved. What does this case mean for landlords and tenants across India? 3 things. 1. Possession has primacy in criminal law. A tenant's lawful possession of rented premises is a right protected by IPC regardless of who holds the title deed. 2. Self-help is not a remedy. If there is a rental dispute, the court avenue is a civil court or rent control authority, not forcible eviction. 3. The revisional courts will not re-examine the facts unless a glaring miscarriage of justice is shown. Well-reasoned concurrent findings deserve finality. This is a salutary reminder that the ownership rights must be asserted through lawful means. I am Mubaraka Babbar. Thank you for listening to Podcast Bite, powered by India Law LLP. Until next time, know your right, respect others' possession, and never stop asking questions.